Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL player props video. We need to go ahead and review the Thursday night football game, which did not go well. That's 3 weeks in a row that I've told you, ugly game. I'm just going to put 1 unit or a half a unit on it, and that's it. So we'll review that, and then we'll get into a bunch of picks for Sunday and touchdown calls as well. All right, so we took Breece Hall over 5.5 first half receiving yards. He had 0, I think. And then outline Demario Douglas over 9.5 receiving yards. He crushed that. So, the best bet didn't hit and the outline did. So my bet did not hit because I put those two together. All right, jumping into the bets for today. Now, Josh Allen, here's our thumbnail. You can find him at a bunch of different numbers. He started the week at 232 and I took that. Then I took it again at 220 and now I've taken it again at 211. So the line is not going in my direction here. I think mostly because of weather. Like it could be a little cold, a little bit windy, but I'm not concerned with that. And the way to beat the Buccaneers is to throw on them. With Vita Vea, you cannot run on this Buccaneers team, so you have to throw. So I like Josh Allen over 211.5 passing yards. That's the best number I found today. Over in 5 of 9 games this season, he had 324 in a head-to-head with the Buccaneers. So he has not been throwing a lot this season, probably because his receivers aren't catching the ball. But it is what it is. That is how you beat the Buccaneers. A lot of quarterbacks have gone over their lines against this Buccaneers team. Michael Penix, I think, had like 300 plus, and so did a few other quarterbacks. So I don't know why we're getting this really low line on Josh Allen. It must just be due to the weather. And I don't think the weather is going to be that big of a difference maker, but I could be wrong. All right, the next best bet here is Tony Pollard over 40.5 rush yards. I wanted to give it to you at 35.5, but it moved before I could. So it's at 40.5 now. I still like it. So he's over in 2 of the last 4 games since Tyjae Spears has been back. So 50% of the time since Tyjae Spears has been back, he's been over this line. Head-to-head against the Texans, he's had 64 this year, 62 and 119. So I do think that, yes, his carries are going to get cut a little bit with Tyjae Spears, but I still think that he's going to get plenty of carries that are going to get him over this line. All right, Noah Fant over 26.5 receiving yards. He's over in 5 of 7 games, hooked in 2 games, exactly a hook. So he's over 100% of the times with Flacco as the quarterback. There's also a really good matchup here on where he likes to catch his passes, which is inline and then slot. So, they rank 21st and 24th in those aspects. So I like Noah Fant here to have a decent game. Just continue to put up the numbers that he's been putting up. All right, Christian Watson over 24.5 receiving yards in the first 2 receptions. This is a specialized prop that you can only get on Prize Picks as far as I know. He has hit this in 2 out of 3 games, and he went way over, having 45 and 58, and then he hooked with the 1 game with 24. So he's over in 2 of 3 games played, technically over in 3 of 3 over his line, because his line was lower than this. His ADOT is a crazy 25.9. That's insane. So yeah, I think he can get here in his first 2 catches, if he even has 2 catches. That is the risky part of that one, I guess. Quentin Johnson, he is questionable to play, but he was a full participant in practice on Friday. So over 39.5 receiving yards is a smash for him. He's over in 6 out of 8 games this season. He has a great scoring matchup out wide. And if he does get ruled out late, then I would probably pivot to Trey Harris, and I'll show you what I did. So lean here, DeAndre Swift over 15.5 receiving yards. He's over in 5 out of 8 games this season. He's only had 12 against the Vikings in a previous head-to-head this year in week 1, but that was week 1. So I think in the past, 6 games, he's gone over 5 times. So I think that this is a good spot. Also, I think they want Kyle Monangai to be more the, on the ground between the tackles back, and DeAndre Swift can be more the gadget player, the more the receiving back. So we'll see if that ends up materializing. All right, Jacoby Brissett over 235.5 passing yards. He's been over in the past 4 games, so I don't know why we don't think he's going over again. This thing on the bottom is from the last slide, so ignore that. It's from like the Noah Fant slide. But Matthew Stafford went over his line, CJ Stroud, Michael Penix, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford again. And then Spencer Rattler even went over his line. So I just really don't. The 49ers are so banged up on defense They're getting some players back on offense, but that could just lead to more scoring, more passing. And I know that Jacoby Brissett is down Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's got Trey McBride, and he's got Dortch, and he's got, Michael Wilson, players who can catch the ball. So I'm going to go ahead and go in on this, even though it is just a lean. And then Khalil Shakir is my other lean, over 43.5 receiving yards. He's over in 6 of 9 games this season. Dalton Kincaid has been ruled out, so those targets should go to Shakir. And then he did have 92 in a head-to-head previously from 2 years ago. Dawson Knox was out in that game. So yeah, I like his spot here. I like his chances of getting 4 to 5 to 6 catches and going well over this line. Okay, my first alt line, Trey McBride here, over 49.5 receiving yards. He's over in 7 of 9 games this season, but he did only have 43 in a head-to-head earlier this year. 49ers had Joey Bosa and Fred Warner in that game, and now they don't. So I think that that's going to make a difference here in the middle of the field. Also, he has gone over in 4 out of the last 4 games with Jacoby Brissett. So I really like this as an alt line play. And then my bonus bet here, if Quentin Johnson gets ruled out, then I would go slam Trey Harris as quick as you can, over 29.5 receiving yards for 320. You can just get the regular line. I think it's like, I don't know, it's so low, like 19.5 maybe even lower. But you could take some plus money on Trey Harris because he's going to be the direct fill-in. Obviously, those targets are going to go towards Keenan Allen and like other players, but Trey Harris should still get 2 to 3 catches in this game if Quentin Johnson is out on the outside, which is a great matchup. And so you could pivot to his longest reception. You could pivot to a bunch of other things, but this is the one specifically that I already played it, just thinking Quentin Johnson might be out. So if he is out, then I think it's a good play. If he's not out, this probably won't hit. And so then whatever, I lose a quarter unit that I put on it. All right, Jalen Waddle. Okay, touchdown calls here. Jalen Waddle, first half touchdown, plus 230. I just like the price. 3 of his 5 touchdowns were in the first half. He has a great matchup on the outside, so I like it. I mean, this is the area where so many wide receivers this year have just torched the Commanders. The only issue here would be if the Commanders are so bad against the run that Tua doesn't even need to pass, and then there are no receiving touchdowns. All right, Devon Achane, I'm also taking him in the first half touchdown for plus 145. So these are both plus money. So if just one of them hits, I'm going to make money. And if they both hit, great, fantastic. Quentin Johnson, anytime touchdown plus 210. So this is for a full game. He had, he's had touchdowns in 5 out of his 8 games. He's got a great matchup on the outside. And the only question here is if he plays, because he might not play. Great price, though. Trey McBride, anytime touchdown, minus 115. I'm going to take that. He's had touchdowns in the last 4 games. He has an amazing matchup in the slot. So I will take that against the 49ers, who don't have a Fred Warner. So I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs' first half touchdown for plus 200. He's over in 5 of 9 games this season, so he's already been doing it. Now, he is going up against an Eagles defense that I think is a little bit better than what they've been playing against so far. But I'm just going to continue to roll with it for that number. That price is really good to me. CeeDee Lamb, anytime touchdown, plus 120. I just think he's due. So he's only had 1 this whole season. He's way overdue for a touchdown. And now he's facing one of the worst secondaries in the league in the Raiders. So I think that they purposely scheme up a touchdown for him, at least 1. All right, Browns players. Here are the prices on the Browns players. Jerry Jeudy plus 475. Harold Fannin plus 475. Njoku 425. Cedric Tillman plus 700. And Isaiah Bond 850. I'm going to take 3 swings. So I'm going to take Jerry Jeudy, Harold Fannin, and Isaiah Bond, and just hope 1 of those cash, and I'll make some money. And if 2 of those cash, which would kind of be crazy, I would make a ton of money. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the Browns players. But I think you could take swings on any of them because I do think they'll at least score once, and I don't think it will necessarily be Quinshon Judkins on the ground. All right, here are the touchdown calls. So you can screenshot that if you want to. And then here are the leans. I've got 3 leans for you, 1 bonus bet. The bonus bet, I'm only recommending if Quentin Johnson is out. However, I did already place it. And then the best bets here, I have 6 of them. Nope, just 5. Yeah, just 5. And 1 alt line play. So if you want to get in for the cash prize giveaway for this video, make sure you're subscribed, of course, like the video, and let me know which 2 out of these 5 that you think are going to hit. And if they do, then you'll be in for the cash prize giveaway with everybody else who also gets their picks correct. And that is all. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys.